Okay, so I decided to just record this since I'm pretty sure the mid-season's coming out soon. So, didn't want to lose you the chance for the feedback.
Five, four,
So, one thing you could be doing already, scouting that widow, because, well, I mean, it's just good information to not get picked when you leave spawn.
two, one. Attackers incoming.
I have eyes on the sniper.
Right. Eagle
Escort the payload.
paid the price for that, but playing out of Widow's line of sight's fine. So, when you're peeking a Widow, the idea is that, like, you want to peek and then get out, right? So, if you do this a whole bunch, she's just going to aim right here, you're going to walk into it, and she's going to kill you. So, the idea would be more of something like peek, go away, wait a couple seconds. Because if she's going to just stare at you, then the whole time that she's looking, she's not getting really any value. I mean, you could say you're not either, but it protects, like, everyone if she's looking at you and nobody else. And the idea is that eventually, right, she's going to look this way, so you can peek back into her, and hopefully just, like, a Widow that's not moving is super easy for a Soj to just, like, you literally right click for about a second and then just left click, depending on, your configuration for your shots. But alternate fire, primary fire, and then she just dies. I mean, especially if you're lining it up enough to just get, like, the half second worth of headshots, you're already at 50 charge, she should just die. But yeah, you don't want to keep peeking that same angle because she's just going to not even move her crosshair and kill you. So, fast forward.
Might have to adjust my approach.
So, Eagle's dead. And really, that just means that the Widow's going to be uncontested unless, you or one of the supports is looking at her. I guess that's really the biggest information right here.
Railgun charge.
Alright, so there's a target priority thing. And, like, it's working in your... I mean, I don't want to say it's working in your favor. You're doing it the right way, but it's mainly just because your positioning isn't giving you line of sight of anything better to shoot at, right? Like, so the only thing you can really see is the Reinhardt. So you're shooting the Reinhardt. That makes sense. Or you're really just shooting a shield. So it's like super minimum value. You get your charge at least, and then instead of just, like, taking that extra second to, like, kind of line something up, it's probably because they have a Widow, so you're just worried about getting instantly hammered. But if you just take that extra second to line up the shot, then that Widow's going to be critical and have to back up. Or at a minimum, the supports are going to have to look at her instead. So it takes pressure off of your front line while they address her. What I'd rather see is you go up to this high ground and pressure, because I mean, like, the controls on this always suck for me, but, like, if you're up here, right, you are now pressuring both of their supports, right? And so once I get my cursor out of this fucking box, right, so you're over here shooting these two. Probably not going to be able to do too much against the Mercy because, I mean, she's just going to fly away. But this Ana, like, especially if she doesn't see you come up and you get that charge, so let's say you get that 100 charge on the Rhine, you come up to, like, right here, she's scoped, right? So she's looking this way. She can't even see you. So unless she hears you come up, like, you walk around too much, like, she's not even to think to move. And so, I mean, let's just look at her movement, like, right. Like, she's barely moving. She's in scope the whole time. That's such an easy kill for you to just go click, 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 and then left click. I mean, like, you literally just shoot enough headshot, like, enough projectiles that you're gonna hit her like 2 or 3 times in the head, and then you left click and she's dead. So like free is kill your life, and then at that point now Mercy's got to go try to res, where you just throw an E on top of her to just deny the res entirely and pressure her out. That Rhine should just melt at that point because he doesn't have his Ana anymore. And then you're free to start pressuring the DPS to pull even more pressure off your front line and win the fight for your tank against theirs. Let me clean these little things up. But yeah, it's like just changing where you were playing would have done literally all of that. Because playing here, you have minimal sightline. You can't really shoot anything without potentially getting shot. Also through cover, because he can put his shield up. They can shoot you, and you can't shoot them. So you just have like a really shitty line of sight. You could also take this angle and play from over here. Obviously, it's a little bit more... It's a little less advantageous at this current position, unless you're going to swing all the way through and pressure their backline to like run and hide again. So like it'd be good to, you know, pew 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 and then just go fuck off. So that way the Ashe, or if the Widow is playing in a more exposed position, right, they're looking over here now, and they're constantly having to worry about like, oh, is this Sojourn going to peek me again? They're not just sitting here literally getting free ult charge and damage on your tank the whole time. But we'll keep going. So let's see how long you shoot the shields. Okay, so at least they back up a little bit so you can get a little bit more of an aggressive angle. And when that happens, you do finally take the, you know, shots on the supports. Like if you spend just another, like just an extra quarter of a second on your charge shot, you would, I don't know if you would have killed her there, but you definitely would land more. Because I noticed you just kind of like are flinging them out.
Not so fast.
You can just wait just a little longer before you take the shot. Alright, so here we are back shooting the shield. Let's see when that position ultimately comes. Okay, go in. I mean, it's a thing. Widow's gonna, yeah, Widow's gonna kill you. Now your team's popping ults because they killed the Rhine. Okay, doesn't matter. So yeah, for that whole, what was that like? I mean, about, so 120 we'll say. So about a minute, and then you kind of fall back. And then, I don't know, instead of taking this angle, which it was, I feel like, more done out of panic to get away from the Rhine, you, at any point during all of this, if you had taken that high ground, I feel like this whole fight would have been different for your team.
Someone's asking for a face full of railgun.
Alright. Okay. Not much you can really do here. Team fight's already over. Okay, so thing to note, Eagle got a pick on the Widow, so you know that you can take a more aggressive angle without Widow being able to contest you directly. You do have, obviously, probably a pocketed soldier, so you can't be like unchecked aggressive, but you should be able to take better angles. So once your team gets here, we'll see what you do. So I get a lot of flack because I use these a little bit too liberally, the E, but like I like it in that position because that knocks that whole angle out. And so if your team fights under the building, then it really forces them to come to a whole nother angle or overexpose on this side. So I would think this is a good position, but looks like the team got wrecked. Okay, so what could you have done differently here? Let's see. Okay, so we know their team's playing this high ground. Shooting, shooting, shooting. Their Rhine drops. You're not really able to just go dive them, right? That probably wouldn't have been the play. Playing a little bit closer. I feel like Soj isn't like the best at super long ranges unless the target's not moving. Like, so the more and more away that their team's playing over like here, the less and less value you get. Like, you don't want to play in somebody's face unless it's like, I guess, safe enough to do it. Especially if you have like your dash, you can just get out or get to the high ground or whatever, get a cheeky kill. But the further that this fight gets away from you, the further that I feel like your value is going to fall off. That being said, I don't really know if you could have done a whole bunch different here, because it's, I mean, your support gets picked by a charge, and then your tank, I mean, your other support gets killed by the Rhine, and then they take the fight under here. So unless you were already under here to help, even then, I don't think he's going to die. I think it's just kind of your team over exposed themselves and died. And so, let's see. Fall back. And then obviously the game's almost over, so you should be looking to ult. Looking to find a position to ult. Widow Sight 22. So that should be something you have in the back of your mind. You might have to play a little bit more passive until 22 seconds. Unless she plays just in the most egregious. And like that, I feel like would have been a free kill, right? You just... You take another little second. Like, let's look at your crosshair placement. Okay. So you're like, okay. Kind of just shooting willy-nilly. And you see the Widow, and you're like, alright. And look at that. Look at that. You're good, 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 good. And then you just kind of, like, flick off to the side. It's all good. All good, all good. And then you just kind of, like, shoot off to the side. Like, you're panicking. Just... take a breathe, take a breath, and just shoot. Like, you don't have to rush through it all. I do the same thing. I'm guilty of it.
Soldier 76, reporting.
But if you just spend just a little bit longer, I think you get a lot more kill confirmed out of that. And you would have canceled her ult. And then your team, you could have popped ult. You guys could start doing some nutty stuff. Let me see. What's the fight state at this point? Come on, game. Alright, so we get their Widow down. So I guess this was just like a everyone's gonna hit Q. Trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. Alright, they don't have sleep. Like, you just heard sleep go out. You're kind of in a shitty position to do much of anything. However, Widow Sights isn't even over yet, because you guys weren't able to kill her. So, if you did try to position over here, you probably would have just gotten picked. So I can at least see why you didn't rotate. I don't know if I'd be shooting the Rhine here. Like, yeah, he died. Yeah, he's an easier target. But the more valuable targets in the air, and you're using the hit scan portion of your ult. So, like, 2 shots, especially if you hit your headshot, she's dead. Now, Ana's not going to heal her. Ana's going to try to panic heal the Rhine. So, it's, like, questionable on which one to shoot. I think the priority should be the Mercy. Unless the call, like, from everyone is like, oh, Rhine, then sure, I could see the argument to shoot the Rhine. But trying to find, like, squish your targets. Like, you hear the soldier killing your Kiriko to the left. And so you wasted probably half your ult missing the soldier that was running away. Yeah, it would have been nice if you got the kill. But, like, it just, like, the whole value from your ult's gone now.
Let's get back to basics. Dodge this.
Mercy gets the res, you get the kill. I think at that point you take this high ground and you start battling the Ana. 1, you get away from the Rhine who just got up. And 2, you can take the pressure onto the Ana and away from your tank. Because now she's trying to duel you and stay alive. She just used her sleep. Which, you know, you could say that, okay, like, well, if I went this way, maybe she hits her sleep. I mean, we'll just assume she misses it either way. She gets up here. If she nades you, that's a nade she doesn't have for her tank, who she's now solo healing, because you guys killed the Mercy. So, instead, you die. So, that would have been my thought, because that gets you, again, it gets you away from the Reinhardt for at least a second. I know that he could jump on the tank and jump on the roof, but that's a lot of chasing that he has to do now, and your team's kind of free to roam. Like, Autopsy gets the pick on the Widow, and really it's up to you guys to just get away from the Rhine until your Rhine is able to do something. This looks like it's over. Bastion.
This part of the country is so beautiful.
I mean, Widow seemed like she was getting work done, so I would like to think that you guys are keeping that in the back of your mind, that somebody's got to deal with the Widow. I mean, obviously, she may not go Widow again, but it worked so well for them the first, I would assume that they'd go, especially considering it's a map that works well for Widow at, like, all points. But we can see what the Bastion pick does. Speed this up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Okay, we're not getting any scouting yet. Okay, you can see their team immediately go turret. I'm not really a Bastion enthusiast. I don't think he's in a great spot in the meta, but I mean, he might be. Alright, so we already lost somebody to the Widow. Well, okay, cool. I feel like this is going to be a short fight now. Yeah, so I think this is just a team comp flaw. You guys should have identified early on that they probably would have the Widow. So somebody should have either scouted early for the Widow and seen and confirmed that they had Widow so you guys could play a little safer and so your team didn't all get picked. Or somebody should have played to try to counter or pressure the Widow so she's not getting free value. Like, you don't have to go Widow v Widow. Like, you could do Sombra and get some value. Hanzo can keep the pressure so she can't play it as free. Or your team just decides to go Brawl and play, you know, you can't really play on this low. Like, that's the thing too, is like you guys didn't really get the cart moved too far, so you can't really give them a lot of space for free, right? I mean, that's not very far. Like, you could all play up here and drop on them, sure, but then they get all the way to here for free. I think playing like Brawl and having to hold over here or do just some cheesy bullshit, like especially if you're going Bastion and do the dumb shit where you're over here and you can test early and then you try to like spawn hold, because I mean again they don't have to go very far. So I think the whole team playing a more aggressive composition would have done you a little bit better, because especially playing like tighter angles, like the Widow's not going to be able to get as much of a free pick. Because like, I guess let's just look at her POV. Okay, Ryan pressuring, cool. She repositions, and this is just no respect for her sightline. She's not being contested. Rotate for free. See how easy it was for her to just kill 3 on your team? So, I just think if you guys had identified that earlier, might have changed the entire outcome. Not so much you doing something wrong positioning or whatever, but just the team should have identified that earlier. And yeah. Then we'll go to this one.
Ready for battle.
Let's see.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Just what I was looking for.
Slow down, huh? I like the off angle.
Thanks for the help.
I think Soj gets a lot of value from being able to do stuff like you play over here, especially with the Mercy Pocket, and then your team can take whatever other angles they need to. You can rotate over here and keep pressuring. You can go as far as over here and keep pressuring. If they go to point, you can just fall in right behind them, right? So I like the angle. I think it works really well. Nice pick. Okay, they start going in, and you just literally can collapse behind. You still have cover, so that all works out.
Threat neutralized.
Nice. Feel like you didn't do any crazy flicks on that one. You just, you know, kept tracking, took your shot, and it landed. Ease of the choke. It's good. If they want to take the fight, they got to push through it. Should identify that they're rotating coast, which you do. Kind of a weird position. Some people will play on this box back here. Come on. This one right over here. I don't like that box because, again, I feel like Sojourn gets value playing at a more medium range than at a super far range. Like, unless they're coming through as a 5 stack and it's really easy to hit your projectiles, then sure. But if that's not happening, then it's way harder to get value. Trying to think if outside of just sitting on point, you could probably be out here because this is an easy angle to scout. And if somebody does rotate, now you get all that energy on them while they come in, and you have an easy just, you know, jiggle right here to get right to cover. They have to push you open. Out here, it's a little bit more risky because they can kind of just run you down, and you don't really have as much cover because, like, yeah, sure, this is cover, but where do you fall back from here? Into just a ton of open space that they can see you through. So it's like, yes, it's cover, but yeah, I mean, you can always slide back into point, but this one just feels a little bit more exposed. So we'll see how you handle. So you kind of just vibing. Like, feels like there's a lot of downtime here. Like, let's just Sorry, these controls suck for me. Okay, so you're shooting at people, that's great. Because every time you shoot somebody while you don't have full energy or full ult charge, right, you're going to keep building that ult. And then if you are building your charge, like that's another thing with soldier. A lot of heroes, you don't get value once you have full ult. You're actually just feeding ult into the enemy supports. Unless you're like doing something. If you're playing a hero like Cassidy, I'd argue it's different because like you can two-shot anybody at any point besides like tanks or maybe like a Bastion or something. But with like a soldier or anything where it's like more chip damage, you're just in the neutral. You're kind of just again feeding ult charge into the supports if it's not them taking space. Now you obviously want to put pressure when they take space so they take the space for free, but yeah, there's like a needle you got to thread there so that you're not just doing nothing to them. But so right now you're not doing anything. You could say you're like scouting or getting info. Your team's pushed up far enough that they can get that same info. Still not shooting anyone. You're kind of just out in the middle. Like your team is kind of having an engagement in this courtyard. Like this whole area seems to be where the engagement's happening. And you're kind of just vibing. Okay, Reaper teleports on a point. So at least now it's like there's justification for it. However, I would have liked to see you be playing something more like over here. So that way that Cassidy, when he's coming in, you're just shooting him the whole time. You hear that Reaper come in, and you can literally just come back here. You can slide, this way, whatever you need to do to get away from the Reaper if he's like TPing right on top of you. And then continue the engagement from there. But let's see how this pans out.
Area denial.
Reaper dipped out real early. Moira's caught. Moira's dead. Nice.
Design at work.
Okay, only target you can shoot's JQ. I think if you hit your charge there, she dies. She's dead.
I'll make it worth your while.
Nice.
Thought I was rusty.
You hear that Cassidy behind you. Easy.
I'm on my game now.
Easy. Alright, so now you're playing, like, this is where you should be. Either here or over here. Until, like, fights start, like, actually panning out. So if you're trying to get that like, cheeky ult charge to try to get a pick or something, like, this is your bread and butter spot before they come through this choke. Once they take this kind of area over here, boop. Where am I trying to say? So once they have like this area, then that's where before you can fall back to over here. Really, like you want to be wherever your team is or holding this angle. If your team's coming that they're all coming this way, then you can swing back into like these kinds of angles from point and kind of pressure. If you're holding somewhere like here, I would fall back the second they start getting into position this way, because it's really easy for you to get dove. And it's like, yeah, you do have a 6-second get out of jail for free card, but it's just one of those, like, do you really want to use it if you don't have to? Another kind of cheeky play, if you're positioning here, is you can go back and jump over this wall. And now you can play from here or wrap around if they push in a point. So that's always good for a nice little mind game. They think you're probably going to go out here and play from the safer angle. You just kind of chill over here, get your health. You can listen for a sec, so that way if they are coming after you, you can just keep falling back. If they're not, you can rotate in, and that's a good spot for your ult, right? Another thing you could be thinking about since you have your ult is, well, how am I going to use it? And so while these guys are all coming up, you could be swinging over here and jump up to this high ground and calm to your team, hey, I want to take the fight in this area. So, you know, play a little bit more passive, bait them in. Trying to not let them... The idea is, like, you don't want them to get right here, because then... Okay, and she does have it, so you guys probably know that. She could just JQ ult in and hit your whole team, and now this fight starts happening over here where you don't really have line of sight. You'd have to, like, come down, and you want to try to have as much uptime on your ult as possible. So the idea being, you can tell them to fight in this spot. You know, once they come through, once they commit, you'll be up here. You throw down your E, like, right here, and then pop your ult and just bang, bang, bang. And it should potentially just be a fight win right off the rip. That, or they're going to, like, counter ult immediately, and then you can kind of take the fight from there. But that's, like, I guess what I would think would be going through my mind at that point. But we'll see how you play this. Eat the choke's always good. Questionable ult. Everyone's popping ults. Kind of in a weird spot because the cast. So without saying anything about what happened on the point, so it's risky playing this angle, but what you can do is when they seem like they're going to commit, you can use your soul jolt, and if they keep committing, you're literally just railing like 5 people at a time. I don't know why, like, you spray. I do it too. I spray everywhere, but like people are like, you know, people are right around the corner. You should probably be like aiming at where they're at. Okay, pressure's fine. So what were you doing behind this corner? I'm probably getting into a little bit too nitpicky. So you reload, you shoot 10 shots and then reload again. So not too sure about that. Cassidy pressures you out. You're low, so you get out.
Feeling better.
And I think a lot of this just comes down to holding the position you're in. Like, unless you're going to ult here, like right here when they come around this corner, then I don't think you should be playing right here. Especially, like, you're just in a whole line with your team. Like, play up here, play over here, take some angle that they have to try to, like, fight to push you out of. This one's a little bit harder because you got a little bit of space to kind of fall back to. Like you have to go further to do that. Where this one's really nice and tight. You get a lot of free shots right on top of their head. But I think had you been playing here and they push out, fight probably goes differently. Could also be playing somewhere like over here. So once they start coming through, you get free pressure from the side, and you'd hear that Cassidy coming and be able to contest him and slow him down earlier. You have the pack to kind of fall back into. So as long as you don't just get like 2E'd, right, or two headshot, you should be fine. You can drop your E right here on the choke when he comes through, because like idea, you're fighting here, shoot pew pew pew. You can either E here or hold it for the fight if there's a flanker. But I think just playing in line with your whole team was just not really the call here. But anyways, so you get out, reset to the next fight. So you have ult. So the only reason you should be shooting people is get your charge. What you're doing, it secures you a kill. Wow, this cast is really bad. So it worked out for you, kind of. You died. Teams up. Team's like even now. Looks like they win the fight though.
I'm not a fan of setbacks.
I mean, took a 1v1, killed the guy, got traded. It happens.
ends now.
Hey, hit the Q button.
Calculate. Recharging.
Look at that.
Too easy.
Hit Q and you win. Alright, cool. Good job.
Dodge this. Coming through.
Alright. So team comp running some little divey.
Don't go easy. Let's bring this home.
Let's see what happens. Shooting monkey. Look like you're kind of confused on what you should be shooting. Soldier here is good. Easy pick. I like it. Kiri should be calming, maybe pinging, like, hey, Kiri, Kiri, Kiri. Soldier or Cash should die. Easy pick. Monkey's free ult charge. Easy stagger. Easy win. Alright, so right here. If you spray the ground, I'm going to be upset. Okay. You're not doing anything right now. Right? Like, you're in the middle of nowhere. Let's see what you do before I get too aggressive at you. But because right now you're literally, like, capping a point that everyone's on. You're not getting ult charge. You're not getting pressure. Look at all this space they just got. Let's free cam over here. So, like, they've already taken, for the most part, like, they don't have it 100% secured, but, like, they already have two people that are already up here. I think she's on this side. But, like, this whole time, let's go back a little bit. Okay. You kill that monkey. You start making the right decision. You check bridge, and you're like, okay, bridge is clear, I'm going to fall back. Negative. You should be going to either here, somewhere over in this spot, so that way you can just fall back, or here. Or if you really want to get aggressive, you could go all the way. Let me clear that. You can go somewhere over like here. They have a monkey, so that's probably a little too deep, especially because this one and this one could dive with them. So knowing their comp, I'd say here or here is the play. And the reason being is they're going to have people. Their monkey died last, so if they wait for their monkey, then whatever, you'll just shoot whenever they come through. But like this is such an easy, like you can E right here. They have to walk through it if they want to come through. Nice little damage. You get you easier ult charge because it gets slowed, and then you get your little projectile shots. Like you can do a ton of damage, potentially even get a pick. You're not full on ult charge, so any damage you do isn't wasted. Like you'll be peppering them the whole time they're coming through, and potentially getting them to use abilities and stuff before they've even gotten to this fight. And that's crucial because, like, let's say you get like a nutty headshot on this Kiri. She doesn't die, but she gets down low and she cleanses. Okay, well, fuck, then now they don't have cleanse for next fight, right? So, like, it's something little, but just doing a little bit of extra damage and pressure like that gets you till out of the team, and they don't have it for the next fight. Potentially. So, come over here and spray the ground a couple times. Okay, so now we take a fully reset fight. Being over here is fine. Nice safe angle. Moira gets picked. I kind of want to see if they do anything that happens over here. Okay, like the Tracer's position. Okay, so you get the headshot. She just grabs Mega. No sweat, no foul. If the Tracer had done a little bit more pressure too, you guys probably could have got the cleanse out. But that's assuming she hasn't already used it. Okay, you look a little lost again on like whether you should be shooting the bubble or shooting the soldier. I think in the comp you guys are running, like, unless everyone is shooting the bubble and that's the call, like, you're not going to kill the bubble. You're like, a Cassidy can right-click, roll right-click, and it's pretty much already gone. Sojourn, like, tickles it the whole time, and you barely even get ult charge off of it. So unless it's the only thing you can see, then you should probably just find a better position to take shots on players, or just spend the time to reposition.
That's what I was looking for.
Lots of damage on the Moira. She's healed. Monkey dies? Okay, you get ult out of Monkey. So, your D.Va dips. I don't know if the call is not to get on the Monkey, which is why your D.Va left, then I think you should be, at this point, trying to get out that door. Which you do. Okay. Good. So your Monkey, or your D.Va's getting reamed by 2 guys. Oh, that sucks on the soldier. So, let's see. I want to see your charge when you're shooting the soldier. Okay. Did you need to jump there? Why do you jump? Come out the door. I guess you were just kind of like panicking a little bit. I don't know if you needed to jump or could just simply keep walking. Because, I mean, like, jump, again, it's like a 7-second cooldown, but it's still... It's still really nice to have. You don't have to be at 100% to shoot. And I know I've seen you use it prior to that a couple times. But, like, this soldier dies the second, like, if you shoot right now, he's dead. But you wait until he gets to, like, you know, 10% health, and then it's like an obvious secured kill, and you're at 100, and it's like, you know, 200 damage overkill. Like, just get that confirmed kill. He's out of this fight. Easy win. Alright. You are out of position because the Monkey... Or did you get booped, or did you slide over here? No, you're sliding. So this kind of goes full circle. So you rotate this way, which I get the thought of taking an angle, but given what they have that can get to you, anytime you're playing like too much by yourself, it's just a liability. If you had slide, then I could see it, because then you could come over here and slide back into the fight away from the Monkey, and you're, I don't want to say you're safe because it's the middle of a fight, your D.Va's at a mech, but like not having that slide now gets you killed. And with the positioning too, but like it comes off cooldown as you're wrapping around. Had you slid out at that point, you would have had like 10 health and probably just died in the slide. So it's just little things like that can get you killed. How long have you had your ult? Oh, you just got it. Okay. Let's see what happens. You guys just got a pick on their tank, so that's pretty big. Your team's staggering, though. So that sucks. Because the pick on the Monkey could have been huge. Alright. At this point, I would be calming with my Mercy to try to get into an off-angle position so you can ultimate from a different angle than the team's taking. So if your team goes white, I'd probably chill around the bridge to come around this way. If you're... So I guess I can do this. So, depending on how your team rotates, I would try to go the opposite way. So let's say your team comes over this way. I would probably use my dash to take this bridge with your Mercy and ultimate, and then start hammering these guys down. Your D.Va can do D.Va things and just DM anything that's coming at you. If Monkey jumps on you, then you throw your E under yourself and you walk out of his bubble. That's about all you can really do. You just don't want to waste your ult shooting the shield or the Monkey when there's other targets that you could be peppering. If Cassidy ults, hopefully you guys can kill him fast enough, or the D.Va can just DM his ult. Alright. Cleanse is a thing. Like, they've got stuff that they can do, but I think this should be at least be in your mind for like how to take this fight with your ultimate and a support that will more than likely be pocketing you. But we'll see what you guys do. Oh. Pressure soldier. Kind of just toss the E. Okay. Monkey keeps cutting your ult off. I like it. Come over the wall. Warrior 1. Unfortunate. I do like the idea to come over the wall. I think... Let me see this, because I mean, I only have the information that you have. I would think to go into the point because you can get some cover, right? You have limited information when you come over that wall, so you should probably try to assess a little bit of what's happening. And I would assume that you could go into the point and hide a little bit better and still get that damage out. And that's where your whole team's playing, right? So right now, standing here, you're just getting shot in the back. You're getting shot from over here. This Morris who you're targeting, right? So if you, being the most exposed, I mean, you are kind of in a diva, but if you just jump over and instead of shooting her, or even while shooting her, right, you just come over here and do the same thing. You're still in the ult. You still get the value. You're not getting shot by this guy. I feel like that just increases your chances of survival like tenfold, and you still get the same amount of pressure out. And at the end, you do realize, like, oh, I'm taking a lot of damage. I need to get cover. But thinking of that as you land, because, like, you walk out a little bit first, right? So you land, and then you walk towards them, and you're like, oh, shit, I probably shouldn't be doing that, and then you die. So just having that mental clarity when you dive in at the beginning, like, I need to immediately go find something to get behind, so that way I'm not overexposed, would keep you alive there. Potentially you could ult, and maybe you guys win the fight, because you probably would have killed that Moira even without ult. But
Team still redeploying.
here's the fight. Is what it is. Waiting for your team. You have ult, so normally if you don't have ult, you're waiting on your team, there's no problem with coming to the choke and shooting people to get your ult. So as you could argue, again, like the whole charge thing for your shot, yeah. I don't really think waiting like you did is too big of a deal. You dunk on the Cass, I like it.
Cybernetics regulated.
The ult kind of gets wasted there, honestly. Like, you get the Cassidy, but you kind of just, like, sit here and then, like, just don't have, like, a good target. Which, I mean, you're not going to know that before because you do a very aggressive play. I mean, I don't really know what else you could have done there, honestly. Because even if you come around to chase the Curie TPs away, you still don't have an angle. Like, let's see. So your information that you have is there's a lot of squishies here. I'm gonna ult and dunk. I mean, the only, I guess, criticism that I can really give, because I don't think the play is really bad, is like if literally the only thing to shoot is the bubble, then just use your shots on the bubble, right? Like, just fucking burn it. Because you kind of sit there with the ult for a sec, just looking at it, because you're like, oh fuck, I don't want to shoot the bubble because I'm going to waste it, but it's wasting away regardless. You just fucking shoot it. I think you should be shooting at the squishy there, though. Like, you're staring at the monkey. So, you just shoot it. Okay, right? Looking at the monkey? No, you should be looking at that juicy Moira right there. Moira, I think that's a Moira. Looks like a Moira. Gucci waffle? Yeah, okay. Yeah. She would have died there if you had shot her once. So yeah, I mean, that I guess is the biggest criticism. Your target priority should have just been a little bit different. Unless somebody's screaming in your ear to shoot the monkey, then obviously that changes things. I don't have comms, but that'd be the one thing you could have done a little bit different, is always be trying to shoot squishier targets with your ult.
Area denial.
Yeah. This is another one of those, like, once the fight's done, so you guys are pretty sure you have the point. Like, you should just be immediately going around this bend, let's do this. You should be coming over to here, which I mean the monkey's still like a target to shoot, right? You can come here and shoot at people that are reinforcing. You don't even have to shoot the monkey, especially because he's like full health ulting, right? So potentially you get a pick on her, who's like not even getting the mega, right? Because you're right here, right? So you can shoot her. You may kill her. You can shoot the cast when he comes out. You could rotate over this way. You're not going to get the Kiriko in time, but you'll be able to put those shots out on the choke and hamper the reinforcements that, you know, may come to the monkey. More than likely, he's just going to jump out anyways, but it's something like you can put pressure down this way, and who knows, maybe you get like monkey bubble out or something, right? So just something, you should always be looking to be more active, because like right now you're kind of just, I'm not really sure, like yeah, this is a safe place to be, but it gives them tons of space, and like, yeah. See how little damage you do to that bubble? It hasn't even cracked yet. It took you like 2 full shots. Let's see.
Area denial.
E's are a little bit early. Like, I would try to save it till you see a little, like here, if you used E, I would understand, because there's like 3, if not more, and then you're going to slow that down. But just seeing the soldier, it's like, you don't know how many are actually there. He's also really good against Monkey. You just drop it on yourself, and he takes the damage in his bubble. So it's one of those area denial tools that you can use against a Monkey that's diving you. Here, I would have just said to say, fuck the bubble, unless your team's calling to break the bubble, and I don't know who's to your left, but let's see. So you could be shooting this way and putting pressure out on the people that are about to come over the bridge, and you're at 100 charge, I think. So you could potentially kill the Curie already, right? So they all walk out, and they walk onto the other side of the bubble. I don't know if I would have slid away necessarily. Like, you only see 2. The other ones are probably rotating around. I don't know where the hell they went, actually. That kind of makes no sense. Oh, they're getting... Okay, so Ball's doing ball things and slowing them down. So, like, you sliding out actually kind of fucks your team a little bit. Like, you should be inting on this soldier right now. Monkey's already used bubble. Monkey can't, like, save him, right? So if you guys just go kill that soldier, he has to run away, and then you kill the monkey, right? Especially with the Reaper. Monkey's health looks... Yeah, Monkey's pretty healthy. Soldier's nice and squishy. Like, you could easily have just walked this way instead of sliding away and killed that soldier, I think. Because I think, too... Yeah, you have your full support as well. You guys 100% int that soldier, he dies. Then you kill the monkey while your ball slows them down a little bit. More than likely, ball dies, soldier dies, and monkey has to jump out. And that's 3 picks to their 1 pick. Assuming Reaper doesn't die. Even if Reaper does die, that's 3 picks to 2 picks. So you guys are in a good position for stalling until Paul comes back. Getting... I think, again, like... I think the cast just dies here if you just left click him. Like, I feel like you're getting in this mindset of like you gotta wait till 100, or like confirm the kill 100% guaranteed or your money back. Just take the shot. Like, if it's as an easy shot like him walking that way, I think you just kill him there. Okay, no point in peeking that angle because there's a shield. Your team's really like all over the place right now, so I bet comms are just kind of muddled. You're probably screaming, I need healing. Okay, I like the more aggressive dive. Okay, the E on yourself I think is good. You should be calling out Moira. Moira. Kill Moira. Alright, Moira, no. Alright, so things aren't looking good now. Shooting them shield, I think, is a travesty. I like the E on yourself again. Okay, you get the cast. Monkey just kills you. So what could have changed? Shooting at the guy in the shield, I think, like, wastes you a lot of value too. Like when that soldier came out the side, you still had 100 charge. You could have popped a bit over towards him. I do like you coming in here.
Not so fast. I'm on my game.
Oh, you missed the shot. I feel like your angles might just be a little too passive, little too safe, and you're spending a lot of time shooting shields. I think those are like the biggest takeaways from this. You could have killed the cast again, but you pull off the target. Like, I don't know if you noticed this, but watch here. So come in. And you did this to the Widow too, right? You're shooting, 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 and like right about here, the cast dies. Like, he should die, I feel like, guaranteed, out of body shot. But then, like, you literally pull to the left and shoot. I think it's just like you're trying to adjust.
Life protects life.
I don't know. I'm not actually sure what you're shooting at. I think it's just a reflex that you got built in. You got to break.
Not so fast.
So you're perfectly healthy here. You're out of ammo though. So you reload behind cover.
I'm on my game now.
Yeah. I think we've looked at this fight enough. It's just a couple little things. And obviously it's a team-based game, so I think you can definitely be a little bit more aggressive. It'd get more value. Is that the last fight? I feel like it probably is.
Railgun powered and ready to fire. Dodge this.
Let the Kitsune got you.
So something that I don't think I ever saw
Dodge
was
this.
like, so you dive into the bridge a lot, but I'd like to have seen you come over and jump this way. Especially once these guys go fuck off to try to help the fight over here in this spot. I think jumping over here and holding this angle gives you a lot of value. You can rotate this way onto point and pressure point, so then they have to come and do something about you, at which point you've got your jump back, so then you can jump, you can manually come over this way, you can jump through the window. Like, there's a lot of little things you can do to take a different angle than your whole team going this way. And now, they just hide in one angle and they're all safe. And we just saw everyone die, so... So they've got a Junkrat. Let's see. Normally, if I'm Soj, I'm going to play pretty much right where you're at. And then this gives you a couple of the different lines of sight. You can come rotate, because you're just pivoting around this pillar, right? You can come here and shoot this way, shoot that way, come up just a little bit this way and shoot up in here. So it gives you a lot of options on where to shoot by literally just playing this pillar. And then as the team breaks down, or as the team fight breaks down, you can come take this pillar, high ground up here, take the pillar on point. A lot you can do. So we'll see how you approach this from here. Okay. See, they got a JQ, so it's probably a little bit more rushy. JQ. Okay. You hear the cast behind you. I like that. You just take the high ground when he drops. Jebaited. Alright. I feel like I can tell you're gonna do it. So your whole team's up here, and while this is like a nice little choke angle, if they come this way or this way, you don't see it, you don't get any value from any of that rotation. I think you should be pushing up with your team and pressuring them up here, so that way if they do start coming out, you just slide away. They don't have a Lucio. You know that they don't have a Lucio, so it's one of those, like, they're not really going to catch you if like they JQ shout and come after you. You just slide away. Realistically, you won't be playing at such a tight angle that you can't already get like a head start away. But I feel like playing up closer with your whole team there, like you'll have had 5. You just keep choking them there. You guys are allowing them to take all of this space uncontested. Like Autopsy obviously just pushed in and with 1 or 2 other people and they got a kill. But if you go up there too, now you have 5 and you can hold them in this area in a 5v4. So should work out in your favor. Okay, so you just saw a Tracer. So hopefully you're telling your team, hey, they got a Tracer now. On Tracer off junk or whatever. Reaper no Wraith, you ping, I like it. Playing the high ground, free, safe damage. Working out. Here, TP. Tracer's trying to get you. Tracer no re. Alright. This is that, like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die moment. I'm not sure immediately. You probably shouldn't dive back, I guess is my thought. I wouldn't think to go back to the high ground. Did you guys lose somebody? Where's your team at? So you got both supports up here. Okay, you did lose somebody. Who's that? Got your May. Okay. So you're about to get pulled up. I mean, with the knowledge that your supports are up here, maybe I would dive back up. Like normally Reaper TPing on me is scary enough, and I'm assuming the Tracer's gonna try to flank me. So I'm assuming you probably get deleted if you don't get cleansed, but we'll see how you approach it. Yeah, you just die instantly. Okay. Yeah. The second that knife came in, it's like, well, so long.
Might have to adjust
Okay.
my approach.
So you're down 1 right now. You just lost your tank. You should be falling back and shooting as you're falling back.
Dodge this.
A little aggressive, but
Railgun charged.
still being fine. Okay, yeah. The only reason I wouldn't slide, because like slide's like the first instant getaway from everyone, right? The only thing that I could think to not slide is if this sexy little mama right here has cleanse. Let's see if she tries to cleanse you. She does. Don't know if the cleanse would have been on time, but that's got to go through your mind. If you're with the Kiri's going to try to cleanse the bomb off. And by you sliding away, you might have just accidentally just killed yourself. So, something to keep in mind. Hard to, in the moment, think about that, I get it, but... Alright. You guys just used 2 ults. You have ult. You guys don't have the point. We're going to assume somebody called out. JQ has ult, and so your May just died. Probably be thinking about just ulting right here and just pew-pewing people. Let me see if there's a little bit more information we get. Okay. Tracer's out. Yeah, I mean, still looks like a spot to ult.
Railgun powered and ready to fire.
Fine, you hold on to ult. Not the end of the world. You get a pick. So this is you immediately fall back. You have ult. You don't have to go and shoot people to get more ult charge. Like, getting another pick would be fantastic, sure, but you should just be falling back.
Railgun charged.
Alright. So at this point, I would be, again, thinking about how I want to ult. Because right now you're waiting on somebody to rejoin you. Right? So, actually, you guys waited long enough that they're already back. Right? Who am I missing? Okay, they're all here. So in the time it took for them to die and you got the pick, the thought should be going through your mind, I have ult, I want to ult, where am I going to ult from? And so they don't really have a lot of things that can get you up on this high ground. So like that's going to be a position that you can play. You could rotate through white. You can rotate to this high ground, right? Take your Mercy with you. Easy adventure. Use your ball to come clear it first. You can just roll through here, knock who's ever up here, slam down, and then you're already here with the ball to pop your ult and engage. While you've got like Moira May coming through whichever other angle. Maybe they come, like your whole team rotates this way, Moira May come through here, do their thing, ball clears, does his thing, slams in, and then you ult from this safer high ground. Right, but however you want to play it, you should be thinking right now, I need to get into a better position to ult. I need to be telling my May, or my... Wow, why can I not remember her name? Holy shit. My, we'll call her the Kenobi. My Mercy. Tell my Mercy, like, I need to ult, so please get ready to pocket me.
This ends now.
I'm assuming May didn't communicate that she was going to ult, and that's why you ulted. Because I don't think I would be stacking both DPS ults here. Another thing, like, I know that you're sliding because she's ulting, and it's kind of put distance in there. But, like, generally, you don't want to ult and then also use your only escape to go into the middle of everyone. Like, sure, you're fighting on this, but you got two people here that are shooting you. You got a guy here that can shoot you. You don't know where this Tracer's hiding at. Neither do I, actually. Where the hell's Tracer at? Oh, Tracer just killed the Mercy and is rewinding. So your supports are not even helping, right? Like, so you're just kind of fucked. And, you know, it shows whenever the Reaper just comes in and two-taps you because the May ult drops. So, it's a probably more of a timing thing. Like, I bet you weren't expecting the May to ult when you ulted, so you guys ulted at the same time. The slide thing, I think, is the more of an actual misplay. I think you should be trying to just int on the fucking JQ when she comes in, because she's just out of position. And even if you use your ult, I think you just don't slide. You guys just try to murder, because you got a cleanse, don't you? Oh no, you lost your cleanse, so that kind of fucks you a little bit. But not the end of the world. Like, you guys could definitely have done something to this. Let's check the JQ's point of view. She's coming to her team. She ults to get out of them. Misses everyone with that. Misses this. The whole time, like, you guys could have just came back on her. I think that might have been the play. But at that time, yeah. It happens.
No sweat. Just
But,
need a new
yeah,
plan.
it's, I guess, being mindful of where you're sliding. Like, sliding out of danger or away from danger is one thing, but you got to make sure that you're not sliding into other danger, because I've seen it happen so much during scrims when I'm watching somebody else's point of view, or during like community night. Someone will be playing Sojourn and then they will like slide and ult into the middle of like a team and then just instantly die. And it's like, you should be sliding to get into aggressive but safe angles like high grounds, or sliding out of danger to somewhere that's, you know, safe, or just repositioning quicker. Alright, so you hear this Tracer. I guess that's the first point. Like, that's a key. Like, you just saw her go through, and you hear her. So you should 100% be telling your team, hey, Tracer's on the left. Okay, you get hooked, you go to the wall, that's all fine. I don't know if Tracer's rotating around, but I would be worried that she's going to come through here too and try to hit some like cheeky flank pulse. So that would be something to kind of consider. Right now you're ahead of the tank, so expect to take damage, I guess, is my thought. Okay, you heard the Reaper. Like, where's that Reaper? Oh, there's the Reaper. Easy pick. You haven't seen the Tracer. You knew she was flanking you guys 5 seconds ago. And there's a Tracer. You guys might win this fight, though. But yeah, it's definitely like object permanence. Tracer, when you see her like that, especially pre-fight, I mean, that means she's planning to flank. So unless you have some other information to kind of counter that, you should be paying a little bit more attention to getting some info on where the Tracer is, where she's coming from. Because I mean, let's see if she's even like just uncontested that whole direction. I guess this might give you a little bit more perspective. I think this is too far. So you saw her cross, right?
Hey, group up on me.
Just being nice and patient. Team comes in. Yeah, freest pulse over, like, all somebody had to do is turn around at some point. So it's just one of those, like, trying to be mindful of the information that has happened a little bit in the past.
Recalculating.
Okay. So, team just won the fight. What I would like to be seeing is this right here. This is kind of really shitty to try to show on this map. But I would like to be seeing you rotate through here and over to here, or even, you know, this way, right? If you come through around here, or like you come up here and jump on the high ground and just sit back here, like, I think that's too passive and you're giving the enemy too much space. So we'll see which path you take. And this one is just, it's the longest path to do the same thing. So pathing is a thing. Think about how many more seconds it takes you to path through each of these, and that's time that they have to get back. Okay. And so to me, too passive. I don't want you up here yet, right? I want you over here with your team helping them fight. Because you're just waiting, right? Their team isn't even all back. You guys, by this point, you'd be about right here had you came through the side instead of this way, right? So you'd be about right where this Reaper is. You would have been able to contest him even taking that and help your team push him out and then push these guys and slow them down. And it's a numbers game, right? So like all this time comes into your favor and potentially wins you the game by slowing them down and not allowing them to get there for free. Because you're so limited on what you can even do here. And it's not like, if you were Soldier, I would have a little bit more like empathy for you playing this position, because Soldier can't just jump up there. You have a 7-second cooldown that you can use to reposition there whenever you want. So you can play with your team and then fall back to this point and be fine. Okay, little miss, not the end of the world. Alright. Reaper's pushing you. Falling back to the Mega and getting ready to go into the site, I think, is your play here. once Reaper's on top of you, because you can't really slide out too easy. So I think just like, I know we were talking about like the danger levels of like, you know, you're getting pressured, where do you go with your slide? I think the call is to go back into point. So this really fucks you, because now he has control of the Mega. Now you realize there's also a Tracer here. Like, you're just dead. The most possible you can do is shoot Tracer in the head with your Ray and trade, which would be great. But like, sliding out this way just puts you in a really shitty position against the Reaper, and he might still be able to just Wraith and kill you. Yeah. So just something, again, in the hindsight, going through everything, it's a little hard to take that play. But
Railgun charge.
yeah. Probably you were about to die to the Trace regardless, so falling off, not that big of a deal. But yeah. That is what it is.
If they won't quit, neither will I. Area team, hold the point.
Super nitpicky. I know you don't want to change because you have 87 ult charge. Going Tracer here would potentially buy you more time on the point. More than likely you're going to lose it anyways, but you have a ball, so you have a team that can kind of get back pretty quick. It's just getting there and staying alive. So it'd be the only like thing that I would try to consider. But yeah, it seems like a lot of the issues that I'm noticing are just really passive positioning. A lot of downtime. You're not doing things with the time that is more of like a neutral fight. Like, you're taking engagements when there's engagements happening, but during the neutral, especially after you win a fight, you're not positioning yourself in a more aggressive manner to deny their ability to take space. You, and really most of your team, is just giving it to them for free, and it's letting them take that next fight completely fresh. Like, the whole thing with being a defender is you can deny that space as they come in, and when they ultimately do get there, they've had to expend utility and cooldowns. And so now that they are taking the fight closer, they're trying to contest the objective, you should have some type of cooldown advantage. So that way it gives you the advantage in the fight. You can trade that advantage in for picks and then win the fight. And then it comes down to who's ulting. But yeah. I guess I wanted to knock this out because the patch, again, is coming out probably any minute now. And I didn't want to lose the chance to do this. And yeah, I didn't want to lose the chance to do this because the patch just kills the replay codes. So if you have any questions whenever you're seeing this, obviously feel free to DM me. We can get in a call and watch this together if you want, whatever. But I'll make sure to put the link in the channel, and I'll DM you before you watch it. So, hi, future Bry. Anyways, I'm done. Bye.